Later, what if? Okay. What if they come out with their expansion and it pulls a hard space ship breaker? Where it's just like, oh, what people really cared about in Factorio is the story, so here's a load of unskippable cutscenes and Marxism dialogue for you to chew on. That's much better than setting up your production chains. Jings. Honestly, just thinking about that, I'd be tempted to do that if I was on the Factorio team. Oh, that would be utter suicide, but hey. You'd go down laughing. Be like that guy who finished their Ben Drown Majora's Mask creepypasta stuff. Don't crush my dreams. Okay, right. Enough waffling on here. Apparently things look and sound okay, so let's get going with it. It's OpenTTD, and for the first time we've had a bit of time pass between streams. Why is that? Well, I owe it all to somebody who just had their first message in chat, Emperor Jake, who is, strangely enough, not just one of my sock puppet accounts. There was a problem that we couldn't really understand when playing this previously, and the problem was most notable in the Caribbean here. We had cities that were just not growing for some reason, or rather they were growing once a year, and it was showing that they were getting 0 out of their required passengers and mail. And I couldn't quite figure it out, but I wasn't about to spend loads of time troubleshooting it. Until I got a message on one of my YouTube videos. I think it was episode 2, so that was a way. That was maybe 20 hours ago in terms of gameplay time. Saying that you should never build your station before your city, because the stations, like industries, link themselves to a city. So when we were building all these docks for the Caribbean, they were being linked to Florida or Mexico or USCA, meaning that every time we had passengers delivered to Cuba, it wasn't counting towards Cuban growth, it was counting towards Florida. Start to explain a few things, isn't it? It was contributing to Floridian growth or Mexican growth or just not Caribbean growth. So, that was a problem. That was a big problem, because if I was going to tear up my old stations, then I would have to remake them. I couldn't just rename them. I would have to remake the stations and remake all of the routes that involved those stations. Sounded like a lot of work. So I did it all anyway. It took about an in-game year because I had to make sure that trains weren't in stations, and there were a lot of them. Practically all of South America I had the stations built before the cities. Same for the Caribbean, the USCA, most of Canada. In fact, just about everywhere I built the station before the city, but that's okay. We have learnt our lesson. Don't do that. Anyway, it seems to be working. Cuba, which was one of the most stern non-growers, is now actually growing at a somewhat reasonable pace. And, well, all of them are. Look at that. Reasonable growth times, because they are getting lots and lots of passengers and mail. That will slow down once they hit over 400, I imagine, because they're certainly not going to get any fish, livestock, or milk. Because Haiti and Dominican Republic don't exactly have thriving industries. They don't have any industry apart from one Haiti hotel, which is hilariously supplied with all sorts of things, but I think it's just a black hole for food, alcohol, and passengers. Anyway, that was done. The docks weren't too much work. The trains were a lot of work. I had to go through and make sure they had the right orders and not muck that up. And there's nothing to say we won't get messages saying so-and-so is lost along the way. Anyway, wanted to share that with you, but not do it on stream, because it was about the better part of an hour of just going through, pausing trains so they weren't in stations, blowing up the stations, remaking them. You can tell I've remade a station if it has an exclamation mark after its name, because I couldn't duplicate the name. A lot of passengers died in those demolitions as well. Also, while I see it, we were missing a bit of signaling in the way here. If this train could kindly get out of the way. This was clogging up departures out of Tierra de Fuego. Still, a positive side about that year passing is that South America should actually have some industry now. If we look at the map here and clear away the names, we can see that we actually have some coal mines now. If we could also have some iron ore mines, we'd be in heaven. We, of course, do not have iron ore mines. In fact, we only have one, and that is feeding the beating heart of North America. That all-important furnace that we have right here, which hopefully isn't backing up much. Actually, it's backing up a fair bit here, probably because these guys haven't been upgraded or... Let's see, what are they actually running? They're running old Rattlebrooks. Is that really that old? No, it's 1983 model. It's just that we make that much steel. Funny, I thought it would be balanced out a bit more, but maybe it's just the fact that we bring so many goods here. I think that's exactly what it is. Okay, so what's our goal today? We should always have a goal when we set out for a new stream of this. The goal this time is to colonize Africa as the Americas, so of course we have no choice but to start with Liberia. We need that cheap labor after all. But the thing is, now we know that we're meant to make the cities before the stations, so it's not like I can just set up the infrastructure and build around it. No, no, no. We need to save up enough money to do this colonization effort. Now, can someone tell me how many countries are in Africa? My heart says 50. Although I put in all these placeholder names just so I know where to put the cities, I didn't count them. And I believe there is one for every country in Africa. Even the microstate joke countries are there. But I can't take all the credit for this. This was Gook who put in the work for placing them because the projection hurt my head. 54, 67, wait. Blackwind says 67, then he says 56. I'll assume that was a mistype because TBW would never be caught dead wrong in a geographic matter. Although, this is all sorts of wrong. Maybe not the placement, just the existence. Why do you have Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro right next to each other? I will not know. This is actually one of the more complicated stations to remake, because there were a lot of things baked in together at TBW Central, but I think we got it all fixed. Heck, there are passengers flowing, so that's got to be a good sign. So, the point is, we need a lot of money to colonize Africa. We could colonize it bit by bit, and I might get bored waiting for the $5 billion that we need. But until then, we should be working on making that money. And what I would really like to do is make my industrial dedicated rail line for South America. We don't have access to... Wow, there's no monorails. Either that or they don't show up here. Don't tell me this mod gets rid of monorails and maglev. As ugly as they were a nice bit of variance. In any case, what I'm getting at is that Terra de Fuego needs to absorb more industry. And there we go, that's exactly the kind of PAX loss that I'm expecting to see, but this is one of the old problems where I haven't baked in these stops as part of their network. I may go around and deal with that eventually, or I may just ignore it for a long, long time. We shall see. So, Tierra de Fuego has a bit of an issue where it's hard to bring in the industrial goods where I need them. I've already set up the steel mill here, and if there's one thing I don't do, it's delete perfectly functional industry. I only delete it if it's incorrectly placed by the map generation. Anything else would be unfair, you see. So, what I'm going to have to do is just snip away at a little bit of Tierra de Fuego. Just a little bit. It's growing every day, making this a little difficult for me. Away you go. There we go. I just want to make sure this is actually the right save here. Yeah, it is. I was doing a lot of experimentation with inner city designs. Another PAX lost. And again, it's just because it went for maintenance and missed its station. Which is awful. Absolutely awful. I don't like that that's an issue, but it's an issue I could solve. Still, let's just assume that nothing gets lost anymore and not be told about it. That vehicle will figure things out, I'm sure. Someday I will go and just deal with their orders so that that stops being such an issue. Right, so what am I thinking here? I'm thinking that we need ourselves a railway. I don't know how large. I would imagine 4 would be sufficient because this is only dropping things off. But if I have the space, why not make it 6? Why not make it 6 if I have the space? Well, part of the reasoning could be that I don't really have the space, do I? Not really. Because I need some of this for potential industry down the line as well. So let's just slam in 4 and hope that dropping off can be fast enough. Depends just how much of this industry we're going to be needing. However, I will reserve the area just in case any of these people get any funny ideas. Because I can't be having them build up on this. It's also a little awkward how the rails are going to be coming in. Also, I feel like you're just a little bit too far here. Let's bring you back a touch. And make sure that we have it all. This is the first time we're doing it in this save, a dedicated rail line for industry. So one needs to come in here and then split out to here. And then I want you bridging over to hither. Oh, it's a little tight, but nothing we can't handle. And then we need to somehow get you around here. You know, it'd be quite convenient if we just went under the whole place, wouldn't it? Yes, it would be very convenient indeed. So that means I could elevate you. Ooh, I don't like that. Okay, de-elevate, de-elevate. Let Neptune have his stuff back, or else he's gonna have my guts for garters. Right. I need to tunnel under all this magic that I've made. Oof. It's a little too shy. We need it to come out one more. Maybe Neptune will be surrendering that clay to me after all. Alright, this makes a world of sense. Now, I want these tunnels coming out just over here. Ah. What's going on here? This is deeper than I think it is, if I am understanding this correctly. And look that deep. Let's see, you're down one, up... Oh! No, it is deeper than I thought it is. Fair enough. Should be easy enough to solve. He says, and yet... No, 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 no. This can be solved. When in doubt, just blow things up. Bridge over your problems. Oh, could we use a less ugly bridge, please? How about a length 4? Oh yeah! Oh, I like that. I like that a lot, even. There we go. Excellent. Let's get this appropriately crisscrossed and signaled. And again, we have room for expansion if need be. Might not be a glorious expansion, but it is room for expansion. Signal on the coming in, and signal on the heading out. Signals across the tunnel we have checked, and yes, they do remain operational underneath there. Wouldn't it be easier to just have the rail dip down 1 rather than a bridge? For it to dip down 1? How would it dip down just 1? Because if it dips down just 1, it comes out over here. And that's its own problem. But maybe you mean something else, in which case, I don't know. Maybe you meant shift it down here by 1? Not that it really matters. Tunnels are the best anyway. Tunnels allow things to be built on top of them, so that's gotta be good. Now, how is this all gonna work? Also, should this be regular railway, or should it be electrified railway? Nah, diesel is still king. So... What are we to do? Well, I think what we're to do is to establish a main line and then plug anything into it that we need plugged into it. Can I just get rid of this, by the way? I don't like all these humps in my way. And there we go. That river doesn't have to be as long as it is. Ah, That wouldn't quite be okay given the rail line there. That's fine. Easily bridged. With these ugly, ugly bridges. They're so ugly it hurts. I haven't added any more mods or anything to the game yet. Nothing saying that I won't, it just hasn't happened. So what am I thinking for this? I reckon we're just going to have a main rail line that runs something of a cross pattern in South America. Oh, no need to have the game paused at this point. I think I only did that for a railway earlier. I like the game constantly moving when I'm building these days. Normally I don't like that in games. However, as this game continues to move, it makes me more money, and seldom is there an issue in this game that is so bad that it gets worse if you just leave it. Usually it's just a case of making less money. Why not add a GRF for nicer bridges? Try U and bridge. That depends if it would screw over the existing bridges or not. Some GRFs only work particularly well if you start the game with them. At least as far as I'm aware. We come across here. We're not too far across here. Actually, we're pretty far across in this direction, but South America really spreads out at the top, doesn't it? So I reckon if we just keep going north, maybe tunnel underneath Bolivia. Perhaps not. They got this devilish mountain here. Well, this is flatland, so we could cut across this way and then go in this direction. I'm simply setting up the infrastructure at this point. That could be a slight issue here. Would a bridge be so kind as to come across to this point over that? Yes, yes it would. You've got less of an issue here at least. As I said, this is the flat land, so across we go. So many damn woods here. The woods were so sparse when I started the map, and they've just been growing and growing to the point where I think we'll just not have to look at them for a little while. At least while I'm building here, they do look nice. It's just looking nice is one thing, getting in my way is something entirely different. More OpenTTD. My office schedule goes to the bin. Surely this isn't such an involved game that your office time has to suffer for it. In fact, in terms of streams, I figure this is one of those things that you can just generally listen to and then only pay attention to when there's something really rock and roll going on, although I dread to imagine what that would be. For me though, this is very relaxing. Yesterday I did the big clear out of my stuff room. My Minette style stuff room. I like to think I don't amass that much junk, but to be fair, I have everything that I've ever amassed in my entire life here. It's still quite a lot to deal with. I'm thinking here, I'm thinking it's best to make like Evanescence and go under. And we'll have you head over to here. We'll give ourselves a bit of space. Thank goodness this JGR patch having signals throughout tunnels. Previously it meant whenever I built a tunnel I felt, dare I say, a little guilty because a tunnel would in vanilla act like one big switch block or signal block, meaning that, there we go, if you make it very long, then it's going to cause all sorts of delays as a train waits here for the train to leave, but now we'll have signals every 3 blocks along that. So we're going to have to find some place for a nice big intersection here. Is intersection even really the right word for it? I don't know. But let's just flatten this out and see what we can do, make of it. I haven't built one of these before, so this will be new. I want this to be able to spread out in all directions so that we can have one that comes out here and suckles this, goes up north for whatever else, and then reaches out this direction, especially this direction, because those coal mines are my first and top priority. I want coal down to here so that we can have all the goods here, and that means more and more steel. Speaking of, I really feel like the Florida Boneyard just doesn't see enough of these guys coming through. To the point where I am actually going to make a few more of them. Quite a lot more of them actually, given the amount of coal that we might be seeing moving around. It's a lovely and profitable line, but I just feel like they don't space out much. Also, you've been having all these breakdowns apparently. Maybe you should go and get yourself some... Get yourself some TLC, as I like to call it. There we go. Yeah, because this is a bit of a problem. It really impacts the amount of scrap metal that you produce when we don't pick it up here. Look at that poor rating. Jake, fix your broken track. Which broken track? I don't know which one you mean. I don't know where you mean that it's broken, but it could be somewhere. He's toying with... I'm doing no such thing. Right, what goes here? What goes here? Let's first flatten you out a bit. Should be relatively simple, right? But I do want space for trains around here. The PAX line you demolished for the tunnel, you never rebuilt it. I demolished a PAX line for a tunnel? Oh, hello. Yeah, I missed that entirely. Yeah, now I remember. I made the... I set it up for the bridge, but then I made the bridge a little shorter because I wanted this nice steel one. Well, that's been backing up the trains for a while. And to be fair, Marvin did point it out and even ping me with it, and I did not pay attention. The fault lies entirely on me. Right, how's this gonna go? I'm going to want lines that run like so. Actually, it doesn't need to go in all... Yes, actually it does, it does. People need to be able to go in all ways. Although people from here might not need to go over there. But we should set it up for it anyway. Right, first things first. You need to be able to move along here. How far? Well, I don't know, but there you go. And then others need to be able to come along here. Happy as can be. And everyone needs to be able to turn left. Land sloped in. Okay, so the left turn has to be at that point there. I thought I got rid of the trees. Why are they back on? Ah, I see, I didn't lock it there. Need some good flat land to work with, pretty please. So there we go. Everyone can turn left everywhere. The question is, how do they turn right? How do you turn right? Maybe going tunnel here is a bad idea because I need it to run a bit more so that I can make the right turn. Bridges can easily allow it to make the right turn though. So let's kill the tunnel idea for a little while. Flatten this out. And let's imagine that you did want to turn right, and why would you not? If they bridged at this point, then you could just do that. And then you would just need to bridge like so. Yeah, that kind of works. But then how do you get over to oh well, you with your right turn. Then this gets in the way. Think, Jake. Use that thing on your head and think. This is killing me, says Diamp and Zarkeld. I am figuring this out. Give me a break. You can certainly come over here. No harm, no foul. But then, you know, how do you turn right into this? Something doesn't feel right here. Something feels very not right. He's thinking. I do have an example that I can go and look at, but I want to play around with this a bit. Yeah, something just doesn't feel right. Let's start again. A roundabout would kind of work. They'd still clog each other. I want to have full throughput happening here. Let's just imagine it from the very base thing, right? There we go. I need you to be able to turn left. Easy. Everybody can turn left and everybody will be happy. Okay. Now how do you turn right? If there was... See, I can't just have everybody bridge, can I? But maybe I could. For example, if you bridged like so, and you also bridged like so, then you could make a right turn there. But that would essentially mean that I need bridges all around for something like that. Because if you wanted to turn right, then this guy would need to bridge too. And then where would you even how would you even merge into this? I wonder. Yeah, how do you turn right? That's my question. Yes, I could have you go under there, but then this is a problem. There's a lot of places to cover to get you out there. It could be that you make your right turn earlier rather than later. If this was bridged and this was bridged, then you'd only need to cover two things to get out like that. So yeah, maybe I'm trapping myself by trying to go further in here. Let's try that, shall we? Well, actually, we do want to keep that. We can sort out the center later. So in this case, we bridge you, and the right turn is actually done earlier. Okay, well that lack of bridge is going to hurt, but ignore that. In fact, I will ignore it by destroying it. The things I do to the glorious landscape of South America. Alright, that's actually a pretty good right turn, surely. You want to turn right? You just go under the bridges and you're happy as can be. I assume. And your left turn works just fine. But what about your right turn? Because that would mean kind of everybody needs to bridge if that's the case. What if they alternate? I wonder if that's a possibility. So you do your left turn on the outside. Well, what's outside and inside? Now your left turn is on the inside. What if your left turn were on the outside? Length 9 about right? No, Criven's that's length 12. But it would actually make... would it make any sense? Maybe. Heck, anything's possible. Your left and right turn is there. Alright, let's roll with it and see what happens then. With you, your left and right should both be on the inside, but that might work out. I feel like that's pushing the bridge further and further in, though. Well, let's try it. Hell, we're trying things. So you can go left and right and forward here. That bridge was still necessary. What about you coming in this way? This must be so painful for some people. For me, it's fine though. I don't like how... well, I don't like your positioning in general there. Let's try this then. There's your left and right turn. Left turn seems fine. Right turn is definitely not fine though, is it? No, it's fine enough. Coming down this way, No, it's definitely not fine. It would need to hit onto this side. Which would necessitate... Oh, jeez, that didn't work at all, does it? Not without a bit of bridging going on here. He's thinking. I'll take a bit of a drink to help out. Yeah, it should be a simple and elegant design. I just need to make it once and it'll all fall into place, surely. You can turn left, right, and forward. You should be able to turn left, right, and forward. So why is this so hard? Oh wait, your right turn doesn't make any sense, right? No, not at all. It needed to go under a bridge, or... yeah, it needs to go under a bridge here. What am I talking about? Yeah, it needs to link up into there some way, somehow. Meaning another... oh god, so many bridges going on here. And that isn't even for all the turns. Doesn't seem too bad if everywhere has this this bridge, then other bridge. Maybe I should go into it like that and see where it goes. Yeah, let's try that then. So let's just head all the way back again, shall we? Yeah, get rid of that. We're experimenting here. Even you, I think. Let's tear you down a bit. And start earlier on. So, one of them needs to bridge about here. And then the other one needs to bridge, I don't know, just after or just before it? Because that way, you have what you need to make your turns there. The over-under seems right. Maybe tunnels instead of bridges for aesthetics. Well, I'm working with bridges first because it's easier to work with and easier to delete if mistakes are made, or rather when mistakes are made. You can't quite get there, huh? But I'm not sure if I can pull you back one more. So... does this bridge go forward one more? Possibly. Yeah, figures that wouldn't work. You always needed to be at least 4 to get the diagonals in. And that does allow you to do something like that, right? Yeah, that looks borderline promising. I don't like the double gap going on here. I feel like it could be a little tighter, but possibly not. Maybe with longer bridges, though. Actually, this is the really fat gap right here that I certainly don't like. But again, can't be pushed forward. Well, I'm sure it could, but won't be pushed forward might be a more accurate way. Yeah, McCain, the slowing down of time progression feels great. It does feel too fast in vanilla. I'm actually at a bit of a loss why this is tighter than this. They spread out at the same point, don't they? You fork here, you fork here. No, I suppose it's because you're 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right. Okay, fair enough. Let's see if we can make all this come together. So this is for your left turn. And you need to be going under a bridge here. Which surely we can do. Surely. And again, that's that bridge that's forward. And the back of that bridge is going to line up with the bridge here. Right. Positioning of that bridge still is a little irksome, but oh well. But hang on a minute, how do you end up turning right? Ah, of course, you can go under here. That's your left turn taken care of. But your right turn, does that mean your right turn comes out here? Trying to wrap my head around this. With the perspective and the new design, it's the baffling one to me. Seems like the wrong way around. Shouldn't it be the forwards one? Huh? It's kind of hard to parse that. Oh well, let's roll with it and see what happens. So in each case, we're having the one on the right be back a bit. I'll probably look at a good version of this after I'm done and see where my mistakes were made, probably everywhere. I wonder, do you even need to be here? Like, what's this for? This is for someone here turning into that. But no, they can already make their right turn, so what's this even here for? What's this line do? Ah, wait, no, that connection doesn't make sense. This one does, because it goes under that into the back here. But in this case, you want to join up to here. Yeesh, that's getting a bit extreme in how far it goes, though. How are you? Are you trained T-posing, son? Something's T-posing here, and I think it's my brain. Right, you can turn right just fine. You need to turn left onto this. Now that's the easy part. Real easy. I mean, you could just do it there. It would be nice if you made a bit of a fork style there, but no. Something is becoming far more complex than it needs to be, of that I'm pretty certain. See, now you can't come out to there so easily because of the bridge. Why is this bridge even here? Right. Let's imagine you then. How do you do your left and right turns? Like, you can easily turn left here. Turning right, we kind of want you to be able to get onto this. But what am I doing? That connects up to the wrong place. Oh boy. Just when you think you know a thing or two about trains, it all comes crashing down in your head. Which one of the trains is forward and which one is backwards? We're left-hand drive, so a train would start here and then drive along, choo-choo-choo. And now it can make a right turn easily enough. And hell, let's just make a real budget left turn. So you can left turn, nice and easy. This one can turn left, hunky-dory. If it wants to turn right, it should go underneath you. And then it can come along to you, but this is all sorts of horror show. Can't be right. That is all sorts of wrong, I'm sure. It does work though. Well, it does. At a glance, it appears like it would work. But it's not very symmetric. What is wrong with this design? It started off so well this time, said Draken Noir. I know, but there's something clearly not coming together in my head here. I wonder if the problem is that I'm making it too big. Normally big is good. Right, how about... Got a brilliant idea here. I call it forget the bridges. Problem is I'm thinking about the bridges before anything else. What we need to do is build the bridges around the problem. So we have our intersection. If you're coming out here, oh, I need to turn left and right. So there's my left turn, and there's my right turn. You need to do much the same. There's your right turn, there's your left turn. I've probably not made these equidistant, which is going to be its own problem. You're coming along here, and you need to be able to turn left and right. And you're coming along here. You need to be able to turn left and right. So everywhere do it, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. That seems pretty good. Now we just need to make it work somehow by squeezing appropriately. Your right turns are on collision courses. Turn right, and out we go. You're still missing some parts, says Emperor Jake. We're working on it. I can also go through here. But this would mean to get that in, I need a bridge here to allow you to go under, pushing this one back. Northwest to southwest right turn collision course. Northwest to southwest? What is north? I regard up here as north. Maybe you don't though, maybe you reckon it's northwest to southwest. Sorry, north to west collision course. Heading north, then going west. Heading north or from the north? All sorts of confusing. They'd come down here, chugga 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 chugga. That seems fine. Or if you're going north, chugga 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 chugga. That also seems fine. In any case, this wouldn't work because they need bridges and tunnels and whatnot to get through easier. So I could, for example, shift that back a bit And then we'll need to go back one more if I wanted to bridge this. In that case, back one more you go. So this is what feels like these need to be real big. And then we don't have you here. We have a bridge here. Now if we did that for all of them, surely that would be okay. Well, for now. So you go there, and then we get rid of 4 of you and bridge it. And we take your left turn as well, push it back by 2. And then... what was I bridging? I've managed to forget what I'm doing here. Completely managed to forget what I was working on here. That's right, I pushed you back so that I can bridge this. Sure, I've broken something here. What about this, this thing? Ah, you went out too far already, I'm sure. Okay. And then same for the last outer one. Gets pushed back a couple. Moves there. We'll get rid of 4 of you and bridge it. Huh. Does this not work already? No, likely not, because... well, what way would it not work? Let's say you're coming up here from the left. You can turn left. Happy days. You can turn right. Not so... well, no, still happy days. You can come into here. It's a bit of a shame that you don't connect up at the same point here. I don't like that disjointedness. North turning towards west is connected to the wrong track. So, okay, so we're heading north. We're going west. Seems connected to the correct track. Or maybe you mean from north turning towards the west. Chugga 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 chugga. Oh, so that seems also wrong. Yeah, you're right. So how do we connect you over to this side? Okay, does that mean all my right-hand turns are foobar? Yeah, all my right-hand turns are foobar because of getting rid of that. Alright. Let's delete the right-hand turns and rethink how we can turn right from this. It seems okay so far, it's just those right-hand turns. I've had something resembling an idea. What if, after doing your left-hand turns... wait, why do the bridges exist at this point? Are the bridges doing anything? I don't think they are. Maybe that's a little soon for the tunnels. Got 2 squares given there. Oh, that's flattening. Down we go. Down we go. Down we go. This is bringing back memories of trying to figure out doing splitters on my own. People yelling at me, there's already an optimal design, Jake. You're wasting your time here. I don't think I was wasting my time. Well, maybe not entirely. Hang on, can't tunnels not crisscross? Ah, I see. Okay. There is a setting to allow them to cross, but feels like a crutch, so let's not. Alright, in that case... well, I can bridge as needed. Let's just have it go like so. Seems like it would be quite easy to allow you to... and make a turn like so. And if there were bridges in the center here, you could probably do much the same. So you could come out... how did I do it? I think I brought it up to here. No, that connects to the completely wrong place there, doesn't it? It needs to connect over to here. But surely it can do exactly that with something like so. But I would need 4 of these going into this, wouldn't I? Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, now your problem is you need to turn into this. But then another bridge here would allow it to make a right turn into you, as would another bridge here. Or even a wee tunnel. Eh? Maybe a slightly less wee tunnel. I feel like I need a pen and paper to understand this, says Swordy. Now why would you have such difficulties? It's a very simple interchange. Children could understand this. Besides, doesn't it feel so much better when it's homegrown? I'm definitely going to take a look at a perhaps more optimal solution after this, though. Never be so full of yourself that you think you cannot improve. Right, so you're coming along here and you need to turn right. Well, that's... ah, crap. Couldn't you use this existing rail that we have coming off here to make your right turn? Well, if you're already turning left, you're already going to be choking up anybody who wants to turn right. If I had made bridges instead of this, I don't think I would have had this problem. But now I have this problem. So, where are you turning again? You're coming along here, and you want to turn into there. Wait, what was even the point of all this? Ah yes, it's just you and you need to be able to make right-hand turns. Meaning that you need to come along here and get over to there. But by getting rid of this, I've gotten rid of exactly what I needed to do that, didn't I? Perhaps this tunneling idea wasn't my best idea. And I've had some corkers. There'll be people thinking, I tuned in for this. Right. For me, it's difficult to remember that it's left-hand traffic. Left-hand is the right way to go for trains. Can't help but feel I'm making a bit of a forbidden signal in the center here, but that just adds to the charm. Right. You need to turn right. Simple as. To that extent, why don't you just go under a bridge here? Or under a tunnel here, eh? What is going on here? There we go, under a cheeky little tunnel. And then you just got to feed into here. Ooh, I like that kind of curvy look to it. Probably terrible for throughput, but I do like it. Also a great area for trains to kind of bank up in. Alright, if that's the case, then I just want a similar bit of treatment here. Needed to be a bit further out though, didn't it? So in this case, the left-hand train needs to be able to turn over here. And then, whoops-a-doodle. Out it comes. Over it goes. And then around you go. There we go. It's symmetric, probably perfect, and it's not even an example model, it's already linked into the main exchange here. Alright, now we just need to signal this thing. I dread to imagine it, but we do need to signal this. Right, the signals come out from here, so please signal accordingly. I think it already signaled up to the tunnel, didn't it? So it needs to come out of the tunnel. There's already a signal there, no need for more. So it all comes up and is happy until it gets here. And then when it does get here, it gets decidedly unhappy, but that's okay. So... looks great, Jake. Good job. He said, palms sweaty, arms shaking. How the heck does someone signal this? I don't know. So just always consider the way the trains are going first. He'll be coming along here. Actually, doing it that way probably just hurts the throughput more than anything, because I want my dedicated signal at the end so it can keep as many in there as possible. Actually, that's probably a poor way to do it. What we should do is signal it so that nothing gets backed up on this, blocking everything else. Yet at the same time, I'm not sure I even agree with that kind of thinking. Screw it. Do give them all of these, and make sure to put one at the end. That's the way to think of it. Which is exactly what I was doing there. Listen, I'm creating new meta here. Of course, there's going to be some aches and pains along the way. Then you come along here, and there, and there. And you come along here, and there, and there. And you come along here, and there, and there. And you come along here, and there, and there. It's a lot of signals, isn't it? But I think that might even be it fully signaled. Is there anywhere that's missing any? It looks like it could work. I'm looking forward to seeing this thing in action now. But the problem is I'm not going to have enough trains to really make it worth my while for a while, I think. The tunnel on the left. You're right. It stops auto-signaling the moment it hits a junction. So there we go. And that means that this tunnel will also be having problems. Okay. I like it. I really like it. Feels like it's got that Factorio spaghetti thing going on. Maybe it's because it looks a bit like a Gaelic symbol. In any case, I'm going to save my game here, and we're going to have a look at other soulless examples. There should be a... Is it help.sav? I don't think that was it. I think it's like part 2 or part 3 has example rails. Somebody was desperate to try and teach me how to put proper rails together. This is certainly not the one, though. The Triskel from hell? That's not fair. Oh, right, here we go. This is how it's meant to be. Hey, I was off to a good start with the whole alternating the positions of the bridges. It's called a basic two-way line. Doesn't seem that basic to me. So it's meant to go over and then fork out. Ah, I see, I see. I was onto something with the alternating. So this one forks here and forks there. So, and then this one forks there and here. Ah, very elegant design. I was trying so hard and it just wasn't coming together in my head. This only works because it's superior right-hand drive. Yeah, but you could just reverse this. Heck, you could probably take this existing thing and make it left-hand drive, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same design would work with different signaling, I'm sure. Hey Jake, love your State of Decay videos. Do you think you'll ever play it again? Yes, I do. Either State of Decay 2 will have a big update that has me come crawling back, or State of Decay 3 will come out. It was announced ages ago, and we haven't heard much since. Game companies get awful for that, aren't they? Announcing a game, doing nothing for a very long time, and then you kind of forget about it. Alright, boy do I feel good about this design, better than that soulless hack we saw earlier. Now let's start connecting it up. I've got a couple of coal stations that are desperate to give me their goods. And I'm alone in desperation here. Okay, good. Now can I do this? Okay. Don't worry, South Americans have triumphed over nature. These tunnels, by the way, are costing me a fortune in maintenance. Infrastructure costs, yeah. Bridges and tunnels cost the same amount, but it's far more than regular rail. So that's why I often regard it as much better just to terraform your problems away. But it looks good. And in the end, that's kind of what I'm going for. I want to be able to look at this thing at the very end and go, yep, I've made a great thing. In my opinion, freight should definitely be at least 7 length. Now, what's a man to do? It's a little awkward because I can't quite grab you the way I want to. But I might just be able to grab both if I do a cheeky design. So, who even is this? Apparently Bahia lays claim to this, and that's fine by me. I can't quite get you there, Bahia, but I haven't given up yet. If I just, again, terraform my problems away. I need to terraform a few more of my problems away. I want all of this coal going into one area. There we go. And these guys are going to link up into the main line here. Okay, I don't know if the people of Minas Gerais care that much about their hills, but they're gone now. Again, let us triumph over nature. My bridging must not be stopped. This could become a problem. Nah, that works out fine. So you guys need to merge into the main line. And where's our main line again? Oh, right here it is. I'm staring right at it. The G in Minas Gerais is like in GIF, not in Geralt. Minas Gerais. Minas Gerais. Learning Brazilian with TBW. Not nearly as unfun as it sounds. Right, for now it's all just coming down into this, but how do we bring you folks together? in the end, we've got a line that needs to fork out. I know a thing or two about forking out with all these rails. I like doing diagonal lines, it just feels more efficient for covering space and time. Well, it's quite simple really, you just need to go into there or into here. Ignore all my busted rails, because I'm really bad at using the auto rail tool. So ta-tunk, out you go. And then a similar story. Alright, so you come along here and you can go into there or into there. And there's space for 2 in and probably a train backing up here. 2 and 3 and 1. And some of it's diagonal, so this should be able to hold somebody. This one's got a lot more holding power though, so to that extent, I don't want this to cause any... Well, no, they share the train line, so actually this should be fine for wherever they go. Even so, let's change this out a bit. I want more space for trains to back up, just in case. You never know how these things are gonna go, do you? Well, I certainly don't. Now, some people say that it's a really bad idea to have these S-bends because it slows your trains down quite a lot, but I have a little trick for that. It's called not caring at all. Seems to work for me so far. It's pretty important to have the signal right there on the entrance, though. Out you go, and then along you go. And along you go. Right, Bahia Woods, except it's not Bahia Woods, it's the Bahia Colliery. I don't know if I'm spelling that right, but I really like the word colliery, to the point where I'm just nicking it now. Small problem, they don't get engineering supplies. Solution? I'll think of one eventually. Another problem is lack of maintenance. Fortunately, I don't need to schedule maintenance in for these guys. They'll just get it as they need it. They're not as picky as packs. I hope they're not as picky as packs. Certainly shouldn't get as lost. But they are quite long. Well, they will be quite long, so to make sure we have plenty of space for them to get said maintenance. And if you're on your way out and need it on the way back, because I think their condition does degrade even when they're just sitting around in the station doing a whole lot of not much. That gonna link up? Nope, never links up the way I want it to. It's okay though, and just in you go. Right, let's get you guys going then. We need a whole bunch of cargo trains. What's good for cargo? Speed and power. Just tell me introduction date. The Onslaught! How can I not like a name like that? This needs to specifically be a coal train. The question is if I want to bring back engineering supplies on the way back. And I prefer my engineering supplies to be brought in just on an as-needed basis. I don't want to bring trains and trains full of stuff, so no thanks to that. So we're just looking at coal wagons. Again, intro data's good. I don't like these weird randomized ones. Scrap wagon? No, forget this. How about maximum speed? We need something with a bit of oomph to it. It doesn't go any faster than 120. In that case, I want something that also goes 120, but with maximum power. Double HHST. Well, the grid does look good for freight with that kind of power, and it's not much overkill. Doesn't say that it can be refitted for anything else. Falcon, the shoebox, the Vulcan, the dragon, the chuggy pig. I like the sound of Captain Steel, though. Problem with Captain Steel is he doesn't have that much power. He's probably going to struggle to get up to full speed. The grid is much more expensive, though. Grid's probably better for much larger vehicles. Screw it, let's go with the grid. Have ourselves the grid and a whole load of these coal wagons to bring it up to length 7. 6.9 left to do. Your job is to fill up at the colliery and drop it all off over at the Tierra de Fuego steel docks. Just get that done and you won't be able to go wrong. And we will want 6 of you, I reckon. Let's make it 8. Isn't your receiving station shorter than 7? I certainly hope not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six, 7. See? It looks hideous like that. Away you go. And there we go. Much better. Right. I don't know, did you hear that? That was my phone going off, but it'll just be ignored for a while. Right, I want to see my trains go through this amazing station, not station, intersection that I've made. Also, oh, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. You back up there instead of backing up there. Probably because I over-signaled, if I had to guess. Well, it's not the worst, because, well, actually, did you guys get in first? It doesn't really matter. Backing up is no big deal because they all share the same supplies. So even if everybody just backed up in one place and didn't use this at all, they'd still just grab all those goods. They're mostly just connected, so I just have one place that deals with all the coal. And their capacity for coal is probably quite huge, right? Oh yeah, each one of these can take a month worth of produce out of them. So it's probably overkill in the trains. It's definitely overkill in the trains, in fact. However, if and when we get gung-ho production, that won't be the case. Do we have any ports around here yet? I would love me a port in South America. I don't get any ports in South America. Notably, I could erect a port in South America. And I'm really interested in this coal, so I might actually just do that. I'm really interested in this coal. And I'm really interested in linking up that port with my connection here. So, might just do that. Might leave me in need of an intersection here, but that's okay. Let's do it then. Let's have ourselves a port. We could be waiting an ungodly long amount of time for one anyway, so don't tell me site unusable. That's strange. I thought ports were happy as long as they were just on the coast. Maybe they need to have flat land next to them. Maybe that's why I don't get ports in South America. Let's test this, shall we? If we flatten this out, is a port suddenly okay? What makes a port alright? Let's look at existing ports. I don't see anything special about that we don't already have in South America. Wasn't there a port around here? How about you? Oh, I don't get it. Click a few tiles out in the water, not on the shoreline. Apparently all of this is unused. Oh, we got it. How bizarre. Anyway, a port's a port. Let's grab it and started taking brutal advantage of it. I want to buy a colliery to start getting engineering supplies from here, and I don't really have a problem in just grabbing them over by vehicle. It doesn't need a whole lot of the stuff. In fact, it only needs 80 crates every 3 months. So we'll just get that going, shall we? I love using these guys for pickup. The ones that they turn into. I'm sure a lot of people hate them, but I like them, so it's okay. Yeah, the name Bahia Waters is actually quite nice. Heavens only knows the clogging that this will cause, but we shan't worry about it. We'll just head on over. We bridge on over with a suspended steel bridge, and then we get you in here. This is doubtlessly overkill. There's no way it needs even these 2. Probably only needs 1 at tops, but along we go. Make sure that you are well suited with the ability to get maintenance as you need, and you'll be taking engineering supplies. I like myself that tally-ho, but that was ages ago. I need something newer. The gold mire. Brass monkey can do this, but I need something non-articulated. I really don't like the articulated vehicles so much. It's very simple. Go to Bahia and go to here. And I would like 4 of you doing this. Should be plenty. I'll probably tell you to automatically spread out. And off you go. What will likely happen down the line is that I'll want a train station here. Ooh. Yeah, actually getting a train station here is going to be a little tricky. But not impossible. It's even not unthinkable that the train station could be here and connected to the water side. Maybe I should plan for the future by doing that now. Of course, I've put everything in the most awkward position for me here. Yeah, I don't like it, so we're going to change it. Never feel pressured into keeping something you don't like. That's how people end up with antique clocks that their grandfather had. Okay. Run while you can, little truck. Boom. So. Let's have you right there. And then at some point this is going to link up to here, and it'll be the main flow of port supplies towards wherever else this goes. Now I want to see one of my trains go through this. I think I've missed 2 of them, but that's okay. It does mean that this isn't getting used, but the rating is still going to be great. Wait, no statue in town? That explains why sometimes we saw no statue in town bonus. Not entirely though. I should have built statues in all of these towns. Statues are amazing, they're very powerful. For a not very high upfront cost, you get 10% more everything. And that really compounds. 10% more coal to turn into 10% more steel, to turn into 10% more goods. And that should keep the rating sky high around here. 838 coal every month so far. Right, out you come. Choo-choo your way around at probably not very breakneck speeds. You'd think the statue would be included in the funding of a town, but no, they were too cheap to give you one in the package. This is South America, come on, Naffle. Right, let's just do the whole follow along. I should be checking its top speed as it goes around. You know, I'd hate to think that my awesome intersection impacts on max speed too much. And what joy, we get to see somebody coming out of it. Wait, this is hardly exciting, it's just making a left turn. Okay, well it'll be much better to see it on the way back then. Right turns now, that's the magic of an intersection. Barely loses any speed on Humpty Dumps or S-bends, which is nice. Such is the power of this whatever kind of train it is. Now it's had that running cost. It cost me over 400,000 a year to run this thing, but just how much money does it make dumping off all of that coal? Which it does fairly quickly, because there are so many little coal trucky things. 218,000. So as long as it makes that journey twice a year, it'll break even, and I think I'll be making it more than twice a year. Out it goes, back to my glorious intersection, pretty please. It made the left turn, it works, so the right turn is where the magic happens, so... Alright, you're on the approach. Good, you ignore the first left turn, then you take the next left turn, which actually... God, look, it's still going 120. Ooh, well, maybe not so much on that kind of S-bend, but still. Well, it didn't lose its speed for very long. Granted, it's empty. Sweet. Yeah, maybe we should always make these kind of intersections in a new and interesting way. I don't know, I kind of want to build the one that just works elegantly now. Yeah, the question is when we get high-speed rail, what's that going to do around here? Also, this is cleaned up a bit. And there's space for you to head in right there. And also, the production has gone gung-ho, so next month, this should triple. And then these trains are going to be really busy. Come on, next month, come to me. Even those little trucks should actually be making me a profit. They don't do much work, but they do something. Engineering supplies are very valuable, but... Oh, good grief! I thought I was overkill on the trains, but no, we are, dare I say, underkill on the trains. We need... I'm gonna say 4 more at least for now. God, I just love seeing trains running around. Look at that. God, they're getting 2,200 coal a month now. That's hardcore. Okay, there we go. Now we actually have trains sitting around grabbing it at all times. You always want a train in the station. Or at least every 7 days or so you want somebody picking something up. Keep those ratings high means you get more of the coal transported. You can get it all the way up to 100%, but maintaining a 100% rating can be pretty difficult. These trains would need to be faster, but they're capped at 120 because of the kind of cargo they have. And that is why I'm not mixing my cargo with my packs. Look at this packs, 140, 150, 160. Why, it can reach blistering speeds of 181. If I mixed in my cargo network with the packs network, however, it would run into the back of a coal truck and then, oh, changs, all bets are off. And with the automatic space timetables, everything's going to be running either on either late or early, both of which are problematic. A late train is one thing, but there's nothing worse than an early train. Well, specifically if it's leaving empty. Now, the rating that I have on engineering supplies is probably not going to be that great, but who knows, I might actually be oversupplying these guys. If that's the case, I can just strip away a couple of these. As long as this remains gung-ho, it's okay. Actually, I definitely have too many of them. Tell you what, you just go to the depot, and you go to the depot, and I'll get rid of both of you. Those engineering supplies are probably going to be useful to other people. Even one of them's probably plenty, because it just needs It just needs 30 supplies every 3 months, so... Tell you what, I'm only going to have one. I don't run engineer supplies for profit, I run it so that we can get a lot more coal. Problem, potentially. All this coal going to here means a whole lot more steel being made. I probably don't transport all that steel, especially since my my giant boats are still coming along with huge amounts of scrap metal. Here's one right now. Max speed reduce. Go and get some maintenance, you idiot! Look at all these places that you can go and get maintenance, but you're actually going for it. Good. Yeah, you drop off so many goods here that we just have so much steel piling up, which will hurt ratings if we don't pick it up, and we're certainly not going to be picking up all of that. Are you also running full of scrap metal? That was the wrong one. It's pretty hard to organize all these scrap metal... Wait, that's sand. I just added more scrap metal, guys. They're all bunching up, which bothers me a bit. To the point where some are running empty. They're meant to be on automatically spacing out, but... Forgive me for thinking this doesn't look very spaced out. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Anyway, boys oh boys, do we get a lot of steel here. At least the steel gets turned into goods that immediately gets picked up without any further complications. Man, that's just thinking about all the money that is. Well, no need to think about it, we can see it. Yeah, both mines are at gung-ho. We have it set to spread out. Which I suppose means that we need 160 goods every 3 months. How many journeys is that for you? How long does this take you? It takes 7 days to bring 25 goods. Yeah, no, one little truck here will have it all taken care of, I'm sure. One little horrifically overworked vehicle. Gambate. Alright, but that was just one place networked up. I want to feed Tierra de Fuego until it explodes. So what else do we bring these guys? Well, we have the slight problem that they only get fusty old nasty fruit. And another problem that they don't get any dairy whatsoever. They want livestock and milk down here. That indicates desire for a stockyard. What's the soundtrack? Or the last one? I know this one's banished. The last one was... Train Valley 2. The song was called Electrification. Nice thing that shuffle actually goes back to where we were. Made me lose my train of thought, but that's okay. We'll get it back on the tracks. I want more industry brought in over here. Would you look at that? We have livestock and milk from Brasilia's dairy farm. There's a dairy here, but the Bahia dairy will not get our love. Nor will this metal workshop. We're going to plug more goods into here. So if I bring farming supplies to make this gung-ho, that's a lot of livestock and milk to be brought down here to be turned into more alcohol. I feel like we don't transport much alcohol up north, but it's okay. I shouldn't feel pressured to make every single bit of goods be transported out. No fish yard here, so I don't feel the need to use their fishing area. We haven't had a look at Greenland for a while, have we? Greenland is Xbox huge. Interesting fact, Greenland was one of the stations that I had messed up the positioning of. So Greenland Central actually wasn't contributing to the growth of Greenland. Even so, Greenland is getting absolutely slam-dunked in supplies and growing terrifyingly. This is good. And it's good to see the metro actually being put to proper use. I don't know if it's profitable yet or not. Lifetime profit still costing me $1 million and another $1 million, but that's okay. We did this for the future of Greenland. Good old one-day town growth. It is pretty good. I have a funny feeling that these trams are overburdened, though. Look at that. I have a bit of an idea to help them out, though, because they don't seem to be struggling on mail due to the enormous mail capacity that we have. but they're certainly struggling on the passenger side. I am a little tempted to add a... Actually, let's just see if we can do it, right? Screw talking about it. Let's see if we can do it. What if I were to add a cheeky little one-sized metro right here? It doesn't like it because it's not underground because this bit's elevated. Right. Never mind. Never mind. We can sort that. Getting bummed whenever you see a problem. Now that doesn't help anybody. You gotta think, how do we push forward? Actually, the fact that this whole place is on an elevation is a considerable problem, but I'm sure it's one we can handle. I just don't really want to destroy any houses because they are big. This is why it's so good to set this stuff up ahead of time. I'm looking forward to the next big city we make, by the way, because I want to design a really nice inner city. One little building won't be missed. Surely. Oi, 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 stop with the rebuilding there, that's not allowed. Now we're thinking about the tiniest little metro station. Yeah, maybe another place just has to go, just like so. Alright, you can keep the rest though, as long as I can tunnel here. And then... don't mind me, I'm just going to make my way over here. Ah, now you're a problem. Yeah, because again, it's elevated, isn't it? It's okay though, probably. I'm doing exactly what I didn't want to do. Wait, that turn won't even make any sense because you're in the way, won't it? Oh, the damage I'm doing to Greenland. Sorry, I'm sure they'll understand. Can't make the turn here the way I want to, though. Yeah, no, this remains too elevated. And while I was able to destroy a building here, I can't really do it now, can I? Or can I? Poor Greenland. Okay, right. Come on. Let's get with a game plan here. Oof. Okay, I have failed, completely failed in my plan here. I wanted this to not be as horribly destructive as it has become. Well, I suppose one thing I can do is actually flatten out as much as we can get away with reflattening. I also wanted these to be connected to them so there's a more direct route. Cool Sock and Kazi something or other. Cool Sock and Kazi. You know what this is missing? You're right. I didn't give it any kind of maintenance, which it is definitely going to need. I couldn't just fit it in here, could I? Or maybe at the back? Oh. Now we're talking. Well, this was a disgrace, but there you go. Lots of passengers, very simple. Go there, then there, activate. This probably was not worth the rampant destruction that it caused, but now there's a little metro that helps out. Well, it will hopefully start helping out when people realize that they can take a direct route. It doesn't appear to be doing anything or taking anybody. It's strange. Well, I think it's strange. Wouldn't anybody want to take this very direct metro? Well, yeah, the passenger rating is poor, but that's because the last vehicle arriving most of the time are these pretty slow road vehicles, and there are way too many passengers that aren't getting seen to. Ah, there we go. People are finally realizing they can take the metro. Yeah, I'd be suspicious of a metro that tore down so many of my neighbors as well. I just did this to try and offload some of the pressure on the trams there, but it seems I failed. Miserably, in fact. Well, that's okay. Probably. I just need to plan better in the future. And this is a pretty good plan. Even so, though, this metro has one big weakness. It only goes in one direction. I could supplement it with trams that go the opposite direction, which might work fine. It would be even nicer if I could have a tram network that was a double donut, so we can have some going around one way and some going around the other, but that's going to double the size of these. Still, something I'd like to try in my next big city, or if Greenland somehow grows out to here and I need to expand the metro. Jake flattened half a block to make an empty model train. Not untrue. It's half full these days, and it's somewhat making money. And look, the rebuilding has begun. At least they have all the scrap metal that I don't transport they could ever need. I could be bringing that scrap metal down, but I think I'll save it for Europe. Europe will eventually have industry, and that's one of the things they'll want. Right. Ignoring that travesty that I just did there, it's time to get to work for Brazilia's dairy farm. And whilst I did just set you up for transporting goods out, I feel like you're so close that I could just truck them over. Bringing train loads of farming supplies out to these places just feels wrong. On the other hand, maybe I could use little baby trains to do it. But then, yeah, no, little baby trains actually might not be the worst idea. They'd be really nippy. They don't need to have amazing throughput. They can just nip over, drop you off, and back they come. And they can use this existing network as well. Little baby trains. You know, the more I think about it, the more I like it. We're going to get rid of you, and we're going to replace you with not metro, regular railway. Little baby trains, probably 2 size, 4-track. 4-track, 2 size. And if it's like that, I could probably have it out like so. Where do baby trains come from? Well, when a big train and another big train love each other very much, then some bits might be broken off and form a little baby train. Right. Let's try baby training over to here first, shall we? It doesn't even need more than one little acceptance point here. But what's more important is getting you linked up to the main network first. How are we going to do that? I think first thing we do is completely flatten any semblance of character that South America had, in terms of its landscape at least. And we are going to need probably at least 4 tracks of 7 length over here. Slight problem is the river here. I don't like destroying rivers. They're part of the character. And we do not have the reach on you. However, don't despair, because this is where our little baby train will help us out. 1 track, 2 length on this side, helping you out. Brasilia's Brasilia Farm, simple as. Now, you are going to be a terminus. It's a little annoying the way this is laid out, so how are we going to do it? I think we'll do it like so, so that you just come straight out, and we'll have our crisscross done here. Doesn't really change anything this way. And then this is raucously dead simple to do, except they are 7-length trains, so I do need to give myself a bit more of a lead up to it. To you go. Someone somewhere is so proud at the breakneck speed that I put these lines together at, I'm sure of it. And thinking you there and you there. That is actually a little insufficient for a train to be waiting. If a train is waiting there, it could back the whole system up. I'm unhappy enough with that to extend this out more. Gotta think about that throughput, you know. Does feel like I'm using up a lot of space for no good reason, but South America has plenty of space for me. North America is considerably more crowded. Right, you need to link into here, and it needs to be able to go both ways. That should be very simple, though. Very, very simple. I mean, you just really need to be able to turn them like so. You need to bridge over, so it's no big deal. And then you can just rejoin the greater network. That way you can come in and turn that way, you come out, turn that way, and there shouldn't be any need for anybody to want to turn off of here and come into there. I can't imagine any need for it, because all of the goods just flow down towards Tierra de Fuego. So it should be fine, right? Down you go, up you go, continue with your up you goes. And of course, now I go, what about maintenance? I have heard the idea that you want your maintenance quite close to the entrance in all of these so that nobody enters this, goes, oh crap, I need maintenance, and does all sorts of swirly arounds to get to the nearest one that they don't actually want to be using. Or you don't want them to be using, rather. Loved your Railway Empires. I liked Railway Empires until the game died on me. True enough. Maybe the maintenance should just be done... Well, Best place for them to do maintenance, huh? Railway Empire 2 was announced some time ago, bringing me straight back to my point about why do these companies just keep doing their announcements like this? It was announced some time ago, I remember hearing about that. Well, where is it? Why must we keep waiting like so? I wonder if that actually works for a maintenance place. Can't imagine why it wouldn't work. You still split off and go and get that. Of course, I hope nobody comes along here and then goes, oh, I want that maintenance instead of that maintenance, and it goes over there and gets it. They probably would. Maybe I should bake maintenance into these to stop them making such silly decisions. So in that case, they go to the colliery, which is great. When they come out of the colliery, I want them to use that if needed. And then on their way to the colliery, I want them to use that if needed. And the order I give is only if needed. As soon as a train has an order to go to a maintenance station, it will not deviate and seek its own stations out for maintenance. I just think this might be better than anything else. Yeah, I'm seeing it, I'm liking it. Okay, that being the case, all I need to do is set ourselves up. We need to bring the dairy goods out here. It's livestock and milk. We have no industry for either over here. Argentinian dairy is of no concern to us. We want our own dairy out here. Don't mind me, just a little bit of land reclamation. And your very own dairy. If I could have it over here, that would be awesome. Oh, and I can have it over there. The problem is we also need a stockyard down here. Stockyard, stockyard, stockyard. These are expensive, but it's no big deal. Can't have one around here. Could we have one around here? Steel mill's in the way, or so it claims. Well, let's just make it a little less in the way. And stockyards must be huge if it still thinks it's in the way. Well, they are huge, I do already know that, but dang. There we go. Chings, that is huge. Fortunately, it's still covered by the docks that we have here. And this should allow us to grab... What are we thinking? I'm thinking 3 for milk and 3 for livestock. Fairly similar production rates on them. And if it's 3, then there'll always be one space for the other resource, just in case you have a problem with it backing up on just one resource. Slight concern is if this all backs up, but I reckon we have enough space for 1 or 2 trains here, and then another train, and another train, and then 4 in the station, so I don't think this will ever back up. Unless something goes horrifically wrong. In any case, I like this grid. It is grid that I'm using, right? So let's get ourselves a grid and get it filled up with farm supplies. The farmy livestock. What's the fastest train you've got? A vehicle parts van. Actually, the livestock wagon, it might be small, but probably very tight. And we can bring it all the way up to 7. See, I like that. Stack yourself up at Brasilia Farm, get maintenance if necessary, and then drop it all off at the... Oh god, now that I think about it, this is a long way to go without any maintenance stops. I should probably fix that. It is a heck of a long way. In any case, that'll do you for now. Let's have 3 of you a go-go, and then we want to make ourselves a new one. You can get to where you need to go from there, right? Yeah, of course, you can make a right turn here. We can even watch you make a right turn. But hopefully before you get to that, I need a milky... There we go. Need my milky one. Express milk van. Refrigerated van. Edibles tanker. Very small capacity, don't you think? Oh well, needs must. And your job is to actually just share their job. Now get on it. Alright, let's see you go. You're ignoring the left turn, you're about to take the right turn. Over the tunnel, over the rail line, then merge into here. Nice. If this ever gets busy, it can really clog the main line, of that I'm sure, but it's okay. That maintenance is signaled, right? Yeah, they can come in, and I don't think it's signaled correctly, is it? Glad you pointed that one out, because they'll be coming in, that's fine, that's the wrong way around, oops. Meaning you're also the wrong way around. There we go, much better. I wonder if they need or want a signal here. Better to over-signal than under-signal, right? Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that there's no maintenance whatsoever on the long run down to Tierra de Fuego. Which is a shame since we have all this space for it. So let's change that, shall we? I like nice long lines here, because I've had it go not very well when I don't. I want them to be able to get up to a good speed as they re-enter the main line. Right, now this does mean that when it comes to these I need to add this in. So Bahia, Minas Gerais, and then before you go to the steel docks, I want you to go there if needed. Then you go there, and then before you even consider going back here, I want you to also get serviced there if needed. And we'll do the same for these guys. So you go to the farm, you go to that depot, but before you go to the docks, again, service if needed there, and after you're at the docks, service if needed there. It's not a lot of extra work, but I really feel like telling them exactly when and where to get serviced is better than leaving them to their own devices. Here we go, slight problem, we're barely producing anything. So, it's time to use the little baby train at long last. Now there's nothing actually saying that these baby trains need to even share tracks, is there? It's still probably better to do so. They're so small though that I can't imagine we're even going to benefit from doing any fancy kind of entrance here. So I reckon we should just do something like so. You can come out to anywhere, and then you should be able to leave to anywhere. As long as there is that, then you can come out into anywhere, and everyone comes out to there. And then you just make your way along. In this case... Whoop. Not that I can imagine you needing more than just one little train running over there, but let's give ourselves something resembling future... Wait, didn't I say you'd become part of this network? It would be cool to have the little baby trains running into this network. It's just not well situated for it now, is it? No, far from it. But it could be very ugly, ugly brought in here. Because you just need to shoot right out and make your way in. As for you... Oh, just make your way in, right? As for you, a little bit more complicated, but not a problem. Just got to tunnel our way through our problems. Do these need signal? Nah, they don't. It's a terminal. This is the most viewers I've ever seen for OpenTTD, says Into the Next Portal. Which is kind of sad, isn't it? OpenTTD is such a great game. Maybe it doesn't get a lot of attention because it's so old. But on the flip side, too much attention can be a bad thing, so... So I don't know where I stand ultimately, do I? Just being wishy-washy. Right. Little baby trains are so small and baby that they barely need anything, they barely need any kind of space here for the maintaining. They'll still get it, though. Also means that size 3 signals is almost a little wasted on them. Means that over-signaling is more of an idea here. Yeah, fair enough. 2 can surely fit in there. Right, let's get that little baby train going. Now, we want... Can any of these actually hold farm supplies? A plastic postbox diesel with general purpose can do it at 140. And it can hold 24 crates of them. Let's get you. And then let's grab some more farming supplies. You go at 140, so what do we also have that goes at 140? Express vans go. That's a size 2. Wow, size 2 is actually bigger than needed. We could do size 1s here. Now, wouldn't that be pretty cute? Yeah, I think it would. I'm also noting that, yes, I didn't connect this up to the main line at all, and probably should. Might be a little difficult given the lack of space I've given myself here, though. But since you're so early in this setup, you could just elaborately come out here. No point in forcing you along this line if you don't want to go. Ugly, ugly, ugly bridge. That's right, let's pay all this maintenance for a line that's not really going to be profitable, but that's okay. It's here to spur on profit in other lines. Plus, I just want to see these wee baby trains making their way along. This means you don't actually meet the maintenance at all, do you? No, you don't. Right, tell you what, you can have your own dedicated maintenance bit there. I don't really care too much about it. I do, however, need it signaled. And over you go. Now, where's that train of mine? There it is. I want you to clone that train, get rid of that train, and this train's capacity is really high. Almost too high. But for longer journeys, I will need actual capacity on the train, so I don't mind that. Also, the main cost is in the locomotive, so it should be alright. In any case, the point of view is that I need you to make this journey, so come on then. I need you to fill up, and then make your way over to there. But on your way, get maintenance if needed. Very simple. Please do it. So the integration into the main line is just in the way. Well, it's just for this farm for now, but later on I'll surely want engineering and farming supplies to other industries. And I don't always just want to boat everything along, because boats take too long, and it's harder to balance the amount that I want delivered that way. Your new maintenance on the long line is wrong. New maintenance on the long line is wrong. Your right signaling on this is completely wrong on both ways. Thanks for pointing that out. What I get for looking at that accursed right-hand drive thing in the example. How did I manage to do it wrong again? I don't know. Probably because I said the word right-hand drive. Cheers. I dread to think how many other setups I have are incorrectly signaled or something like that. But I'm sure it'll work out. Okay, I think we can have those trees back for a change. There we go. Are you actually activating? Where did you go? Ah, here you are. It's just taking a wee while for those farming supplies to appear. You need goods, clay, or food delivered to you, buyer. Now... You're not best placed for this, but it may be in my interest to have some of this food delivered, because there's going to be quite a lot of food coming out here. You just care about getting a lot every 3 months, so if I simply have... Yeah. Ooh, what's this? Argentina want to start fishing. They wouldn't accept fish as one of their growth materials, so I'm not sure I care enough about it. But I do want the food that's going to be generated here with no home to actually have a new home. And that's going to be the dairy and the stockyard. Should be plenty to get you into gung-ho mode, even though I don't need you in gung-ho mode. But I will want you in gung-ho mode for the future, and it's a good place to dunk that food. So let's start getting that food up there. It's going to go a bit off, because the food will be spending quite a long time at sea. But I'm sure that's okay. Argentina boy, over to there. Give them adequate possibilities for maintenance. I wanted to do fewer of these, but as I've come to find, boats can be really slow at getting themselves maintained, so more is probably better in this regard. Now, food. How about we take 0 tons of food? No, I think not. Fast is nice, but you really pay for the lack of capacity for that speed. Then again, fast freight does sound quite compelling, doesn't it? Especially when it's food. Yeah, I think those are much better just for packs. The Kwantung is nice and cheap, and it can be going quite regularly. It's hard to say no to the Kwantung. Just so useful. Then again, the Tiger Shark, although more expensive, is considerably faster, and I quite like that. So, hammerhead thing. Fill up on food, make your way to the boy, the other boy, the other boy, and then finally to the Bahia waterside, which I now realise doesn't even have a port, and worryingly might not be able to fit a port. Thankfully it can. Crumbs. Didn't mean to hit delete, should have pressed escape there. Right. Rio de Janeiro boy over to the Bahia waterside, and then on the way back. And I don't tend to give boats explicit orders to go for maintenance, I far prefer them just to figure it out. It's just a shame that sometimes they don't figure it out. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of you should suffice, but I'll make 10 of you anyway. Oh, in comes our cows for the slaughter. They get unloaded into the stockyard. Stockyard turns them into food, and the food immediately gets picked up. Good. I'm probably actually going to find that I need a lot more of you, but don't I have anybody coming here for food other than you guys? If I link you together by shared orders and I search by food... Nope, you're the only food guys. Huh, maybe I will want larger ones then. You can still do service with needed to drive them through. Yeah, but then that's a lot more extra clicking for the boats. Instead of boys, just having the ship depots along the way makes more sense to me. Maybe add ship depots. I suppose, but then I'm not sure if the waypoint would work that way if I told them to service if needed. Because then they go, oh, I don't need, and then just skip it, and then they get lost because they have a long way to go, I think. If you told them to explicitly go in, well, I actually pay for maintenance. If we can spot a boat going in for any maintenance around here, surely some of them have to go. Here we go. I just had to pay for this guy to get his maintenance, and I think the payment is relative to the running cost. So the big guys cost quite a lot to do maintenance on. Speaking of, wasn't Cuba struggling on... Holy cribbins, look at Cuba go. Cuba is big time struggling for passenger capacity. Let's have a quick look at the cargo flow legend for passengers and mail. All of my little Caribbean islands are suffering. In fact, since I fixed the stations issue, places are growing more and causing more issues with lack of packs. Or lack of capacity for packs. What could I do? I have options here, but... I only built these because I didn't really need much capacity dealing with the Caribbean islands. Now, evidently, I need considerably more. I really should link them up to Maryland as well, because this is going to put a lot of pressure on the USCA lines. I can deal with the Caribbean later, but I should keep note that that's something I need to fix. Yeah, proper ferries for the Caribbean. That would be a good way forward. That steel isn't backing up nearly as much as I thought it would, and it's not like my rating is dying for it. Just they wish their steel was transported by something other than boats. There we go. God, look at all those goods! He drops them off, he fills back up, and there's even steel left over. All the while, Tierra de Fuego, 100% Tierra de Fuego, not growing as fast as I would like it to. Why is that? Probably because I'm moving an insufficient amount of packs now. It's outgrowing my capacity to move them all around with my tram system, which might just be a burden I have to carry. Otherwise, though, Tierra de Fuego gets plenty of goods pouring in here. Ooh, since so much of it is along the coastline, what I could actually do... Ooh, now that I've thought of this, I like it. You, go away. I think I could actually ferry people around Tierra de Fuego. For example, if I could just find a little place to sneak you in as part of the plaza here. Take you down to the Rio Grande Plaza, and then just set ourselves up with a cute little ferry service. Tram's too full for you? Grab our cool ferry system. Passengers... 240... No, it's gotta be the 700, right? There's Fast Ferry, and then there's Hovercraft Fast Ferry. This is newer, though. And it's much more cost effective. Yeah, screw it, we'll go with that. Right. Go from there to there. And I want actually 4 of you running that. And I want that same thing done with mail. Oh yeah, I want you to spread out your timetables. 60 bags of mail is pathetic. 400 bags of mail, far less pathetic. I want you to also share that order and be cloned and get going. There we go, that should help move people around considerably. The problem is if they want to go to Central, I'm a little stuffed for getting more people over to Central. They're still going to have to tram it. But hey,